Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are here to give out the nominees, to say the nominees of the 4th African Energy and Sustainable Energy Awards, which is to come on this year. This award is part of the awards program put together by Think Energy Awards, and it's an award which is for the whole African region. It is based on the Sustainable Development Goals focused on SDG 4, 7, 13, and 17. Now, with the SDG 4, which is based on education, where we want to see support for all-inclusive education from institutions and what they are doing to make sure that they are providing quality education. Now, the next is the SDG 7, which has to do with providing clean and affordable energy to all. And we also want to identify institutions that are doing that and making sure that energy reaches the most remote areas and in a very efficient manner. We're also looking at the SDGs 13, which has to do with the climate action, where we look at institutions that are putting in place technologies and practices to make sure that they mitigate emissions and also provide services in the clean form and to avoid emissions and pollutions to avert climate change. Then the SDG 14, which also look at life underwater, institutions that are putting in place mechanisms to make sure that our water bodies are clean and clear and are safe to support aquatic life. And then the SDG 17, which is talking about global partnership for sustainable development. We are looking at institutions that have also partnered with other institutions, both locally and globally, to make sure that they implement the SDGs in a corporate manner. Now, we know that the SDGs are targeted at the year 2030, and most institutions are putting in efforts to make sure that we reach our SDG goals. But this award is to make sure that we identify those institutions and make sure that the world see this institution, and also to encourage other institutions to be able to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. In the process of achieving Sustainable Development Goals, we reached a milestone where I'll say expand on the SDG 7, which goes into energy transition, which also delve into climate action, which also delve into sustainable energy and affordable energy. And last year, Ghana launched its National Energy Transition Framework at COP27, which is also in line with energy transition and also in line with SDG 7. And the world is also undergoing transitioning from, I'll say, polluting energy to clean energy. So this award, I say, is timely to support all institutions and to identify them and to encourage other institutions to make sure that they put in efforts to identify these sustainable development goals. So before I come down to mention the nominees, which have been put together by world-renowned judges, I'll first want to acknowledge our corporate partners. That is the SDG Advisory Unit of the Office of the President, the Ministry of Energy, and also Ghana Gas Company. These institutions supported the SDG Awards when it was launched in March this year, 2023. So before I mention the shortlisted nominees of the various awards, I would also like to acknowledge the various judges that took their time to go through the various nominations, because when it was launched, we had a lot of people applying for various categories all over Africa. And it took some painstaking time to be able to sit down to shortlist and identify those which we are going to mention today for the public to also take their decision. The reason why we also threw to the public to also take their decision is that we want to use this platform for the public to also know that the SDGs are not over until we reach 2030, and then we see the way forward. So when you visit the website of Think Energy Awards, you will see the SDG Awards nominees, and then you will be able to support who or the institutions that have been nominated for today. So before I go to the nominees, I would like to acknowledge the judges who took time to shortlist these nominations. So first is Dr. Felix Adoyobo, who is a Deputy Director of the SDG Advisory Unit of the Office of the President. Mr. Mustafa Hamid, CEO of NPA. Honorable William Oreku Edu, who is a Deputy Minister of Energy. Florence Ejay, who is the HR, the Human Resource Manager of Gridco. Professor Francis Kemanso, the former Director of Burhamon Energy Center, KNUST. Prof. Owuna Ajiman, the Provost, College of Basic Science and Applied Sciences of the University of Ghana. Linda Wayo, the Director of AM Group in London, and myself, who is with the Ministry of Energy at the Director of the Power Directorate and the Acting Technical Coordinator of the Ghana Energy Transition. So I go to the nominations, and then we get the list of nominees. First, we have the SDG Teaching and Learning Award. Under this category, we had a lot of institutions applying, and we have to settle on 3 institutions without any special order. 1, the Center for Women and Food Security, Ghana. Accra Technical University. Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. These 3 institutions have been shortlisted for the award of SDG Teaching and Learning Awards. The next is SDG Research Awards. The nominees are Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Kumasi, Accra Technical University Sustainable Energy Service Center, University of Energy and Sustainable Development, Somanya. These 3 has been shortlisted for SDG Research Awards. SDG's Energy Curriculum. Here too we have Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Kumasi, the University of Ghana, Legon, and Sunyani Technical University. For the nomination of Energy Infrastructure Awards, we have the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, the Ghana National Gas Company Limited, Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Company, BOST, have been nominated for the Energy Infrastructure Awards. For the Energy Personality of the Year, for the Energy Media Personality of the Year, we have Rebecca Adjoa Ewua of GBC. We have Emmanuel Abuaji Riafe of Energy 101 Asasi Radio. Michael Afo of Energy News Africa. For SDG Communications Award, we have Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Solar Enablers Ghana Limited, Energy Digest. For the SDG Automobile Company of the Year, we have Solar Taxi, VW Ghana, Toyota Ghana, Kantanka Automobile. SDG Financial Service Award, EcoBank Ghana, Cal Bank, the African Development Bank, KFW Development Bank, the World Bank, and Agricultural Development Bank. In this category, there was a lot of debates, and I tell you, you couldn't shortlist it to 3. Everybody had to come in there, and we want to throw it to the public to be able to make it less easy for the judges to take a decision. On the SDG Company of the Year, these are companies that have put in mechanism which promotes SDG 7, SDG 14, SDG 13. And that is Total Energy Ghana PLC, Electricity Company of Ghana, and the National Petroleum Authority, and Ghana Oil, that is GOIL. For the Green Housing Project of the Year, we have Apollonia City, ANC Mall, Jubilee House, and Prabon Greenfield. These are facilities, or I'll say settlements, which have been made incorporating clean energy system, and some of them how they are able to harmonize the architecture with the environment to make sure that the development and the environment are in harmony. So this is how come we came with this short list of institutions. Then we have Sustainable Industrial Plants of the Year. These are institutions that are using their waste and other resources in a sustainable manner to make sure that the environment does not have adverse effects. And the nominees are HBW, Blue Skies, and Prabon Greenfields. Green Sustainable Hospitality Facility of the Year. These are hospitality facilities that have also incorporated technologies and mechanisms to make sure that their services are in harmony with the environment. This includes Safari Valley, Aqua Safari, Kempiski. SDG Oil Company of the Year, Downstream Sector. Ghana Oil, Bulk Oil Storage Transportation Company, BOST, Total Energy Marketing PLC, National Petroleum Authority, NPA. Now for the upstream sector, that is SDG Oil Company of the Year, we have ENI Ghana Exploration and Production Limited, Talo Ghana Limited, Ghana National Petroleum Corporation. For the public sector awards, these are public sector institutions that have incorporated SDG targets, and they have met some SDG targets appreciably in the execution of their day-to-day activities. And this includes Ghana Cocoa Board, Pork Oil Storage and Transportation Company, BOST, Ghana Great Company Limited, the Ministry of Energy, Bui Power Authority, West African Power Pool. Sustainable Energy Industrial Plant of the Year, HBW, Blue Skies, and Prabon Greenfields. Then we come to SDG Transition Captain. These are individuals who have made efforts towards the promotion of sustainable energy, energy transition, and clean energy to make sure that it meets the SDG targets by 2030 and beyond. And the nominees for this section are Professor Samuel Jemfi. He's a Deputy Director, Regional Center for Energy and Environmental Sustainability. We have Damilola Ogunbiyi, the CEO of Sustainable Energy for All. And then we have Dr. Robert Sogbaji of the Ministry of Energy. There are other awards which are honorary awards, and this includes the most influential SDG leadership in Africa, and then we have the Lifetime Awards. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the nominees of the 4th SDG Awards. And this SDG Awards is expected to take place on the 30th of June 2023 at the La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. And for further details, you will be able to get it on the website of Think Energy SDG Awards. We will also be giving you the short code for also supporting your nominee via voting, and this will be published in the days to come, and as we published the nominees, for you to also support them with your votes. 30% of your voting, let me put it again, I'll say your voting contributes to 30% of the likelihood that your nominee will win the awards, and 70% goes to by the judges. The judges take the 70%. So this awards really goes through a lot of vigorous scrutiny by the judges, but we still have to throw it to the public to see also whether what the judges are saying are in tandem with what Ghana is also saying. So without much I say, I present to you the nominees of the 4th SDG Awards. Thank you very much.